Morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby. I'm with co-host and business partner James Mason. Good morning, James. How you doing today?
Todd, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. You ready to go to war?
Man, that's young man's game, Todd.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a young man's game run by old man leaders.
Yep. I'll be honest though. I started thinking about contracting again last night. Definitely not because I need the money. I make a hell of a lot more than that. But contracting for the government. Whew. If you know, you know.
So we get a group together and go paintballing, and we can shoot some same paintballs at your head.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much get paid $150,000 with the first $120,000 tax exempt.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a nice little. How wouldn't that be nice if U.S. companies could offer that here in the States as like a signing bonus as they're trying to develop their companies? Like you're tax free on your first $120,000, which is like a 35% bump, 33% bump in your pay.
The IRS literally just changed their policies to go after people who are making $600 damn in their PayPal and Venmo accounts. They're not going to look out for us like that.
Right.
Man, it would be nice though.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Like sometimes being right, like we've been calling it, sometimes being right, there's no glory in it. I mean, and it wasn't, we weren't calling the whole invasion of Russia. And I will say, it wasn't like we were the only ones in the world saying that, Russia was going to invade Ukraine. I mean, pretty much everybody and their mom was. Well, to an extent. A lot of people did seem to think that, oh, no, this is just saber rattling. And, it's like I said to them, like, this is different this time. And here we are. Here it is. But man, I feel for the people of Ukraine. I really do.
Yeah,
it sucks. And in a sense, like, I mean, this is kind of comparing apples to oranges, but to kind of put a little bit of perspective on Russia attacking Ukraine, that would kind of be can't say equivalent because again, apples to oranges, but it would kind of be like if the United States invaded Canada. Like genetically, and I mean in DNA wise, like a lot of us are so similar. Like a lot of us, for instance, Americans and Canadians. I mean, there's so many of us who have family ties, and that's how it is for a lot of the Russians and Ukrainians.
Especially on the northern borders. Like when you look at Minnesota, Michigan, I know there's a lot of Canadians that have relocated here to Michigan. The same thing for Wisconsin, North Dakota, like those northern territories, northern states. They are there's a lot more there than there's in Texas and Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, yeah, there is that physical border on a map, but those lines do blend over, and that's kind of how it is with Russia and Ukraine. But yeah, so I kind of talked about before, and this is all I know some people may be tuning in for the first time. I don't know, and they may be thinking, okay, I thought this is a stock trading channel or show. Why are you talking about war? Because this has absolutely everything to do with trading.
We talk about macro events all the time. This is a major macro event.
Yes. So, I mean, in short, and no pun intended there, in short, the market is bearish. And literally, I feel for people who were trying to go heavy and go long on stuff because I mean, I can't say that, you were wrong. I mean, hell, you were wrong now because you saw the market drop and it went against you. But I mean, before all this happened, no, I personally wouldn't have went long, but that's also why I was saying I'm going to hold off until March to kind of see what's going to happen here, especially with our own federal government. But I mean, I've been anticipating this invasion for a while now, and it sucks. Hey, I get it, guys, man. I've been there. I got smoked right around when the pandemic started. I was trading Chevron, and I mean, the Saudis destroyed my contracts.
You held them over the weekend.
Held over the weekend. It happens. It's painful to take losses like that, and I know a lot of people did. Because if you do look at the charts, or if you were looking at the charts yesterday, one tendency that traders have, and trust me, I know this because even with my experience, I still do it. And that is trying to think ahead of the market, of what the market is actually doing in the moment. And if you're looking at a lot of the indicators were literally saying that there was a bounce coming, like a strong market bounce. And I was actually expecting yesterday that the SPY was going to have a strong bullish bounce, have a green day, and then unload today. And it definitely didn't do that at all. We did have a bounce, and I thought that it was going to be a bear trap when the SPY first started pushing down pretty hard. I even announced it to the TTBB members. And while it was like a 3-point push up, which is a strong move on the SPY, it wasn't a bear trap. But I did think that they were going to honestly just kill off all of those put premiums, because there were just so many put contracts that were expiring yesterday. And well, they didn't. The market bled down. But yeah, so I mean, for the people who tried to go long yesterday, I mean, I feel for you. I understand. I've been there. The only thing you can do is, if your contracts are worth anything, close them out. This shit ain't gonna bounce. I mean, well, I can't speak in absolutes, but the likelihood of the market bouncing and going up and putting those contracts in the money for you, it's not more likely not going to happen. So, talking about the whole Russian invasion and whatnot, how is it going to affect the market? Well, you have the biggest factor, and that is in terms of like the stock market, like right now, short term, you have the whole fear factor of everybody. Everybody's trying not to hold bags who were going long in the market. So they're going to be unloading left and right. Now, man, like when you think about it, think of all of the supply chain issues that are going to result from this. Russia is a very significant energy exporter, especially for Europe. Now, in the short term, that's going to hurt. It's going to raise prices. It's going to push up energy stocks. I mean, some of them have already pushed up. But in the long term, the United States can step in there and fill that void, that gap for Europe. We could supply Europe with their energy resources. That's not it. In the long term, that's not an issue. But yeah, like, man, strategically speaking, I mean, I said it, like, if I was President Putin of Russia, I would have invaded Ukraine as well. And if you guys had ever studied President Putin, which I highly recommend it. There's some great documentaries on him, but like if you ever deeply have studied him, you would know that one of his life goals is to bring back the old Soviet Union. And Ukraine was always first. Now, I'm just going to say it. If you have any kids right now, the only way I can say this is just by using the F word. So I'm going to say it. So mute it wherever you're at right now. Actually, I won't say that word, but I think Putin effed up. And the reason why I say that is, and then again, I still stick with what I said, how strategically speaking, I would invade Ukraine. And that's kind of like what I expected him to do. And obviously he did. Reason why I think he screwed up is because one, and let me say this first. This is only the first inning, first at bat. So the game has just started. Anything could change, But I feel like if we was gonna put this in terms of like comparing this to like baseball, first inning, first at bat, that first batter struck out. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, what are you even talking about right now, James? The reason why I say that is Russia's shock and awe is not that impressive at all. Like literally, like that was a weak ass shock and awe. Now I understand and I get, and I know some people may be like, yeah, but they weren't probably going all in, and that's probably true. But their initial invasion attack right here, how they did this, it really was not that powerful. It wasn't what I expected from them. And that's why I'm starting to say that they screwed up, because with as strong of rhetoric that President Putin, was speaking and then doing this, really the only thing, and again, I'm just speaking from opinion, and there's probably a 95% chance that I'll be wrong because we're just in the very beginning of this and things will always evolve and change. But I think that if President Putin doesn't fully lock down and annex all of Ukraine and then immediately go for all the rest of the Baltic states to bring back the old Soviet Union, and then followed up with isolating Russia and the Soviet Union, whatever they're going to call themselves, from the world, I see it all collapsing. I feel that President Putin, and again, the dude's smarter than me. So I'm just the dude from the internet talking about, I'll just say it. I'm a dude from the internet talking about shit that I really don't know. I'm just speculating. Okay.
Is it possible? Let me ask you this question, James, because you get me thinking here. You said you called this the first inning. I would not have called this the first inning. I would have called this the second inning, because there's been some posturing over this past week, and as they're moving the troops in. So, is this more than when you say the first inning? Is this more than just a war? Is this a 9-inning game that's going to have economies, attacks on their financial markets, et cetera, et cetera?
I think so.
That's okay. I'm thinking the same thing, because I heard one congressman yesterday say Biden has to do two things. One, deliver energy to Europe, take that off the table so Europe doesn't worry. And then two, go after the Russian ruble and crush their financial market. That's the only way we're going to get Putin's attention.
Yeah, cut off. Honestly, the United States needs to supply all of Europe with their energy, and that it will take some time. But supply all of Europe with their energy, and no other European nations do business with them. We know China is going to do business with Russia. That's to be expected. And that right there, that's where shit is going to get really screwy, is with China. Because behind China, then you have Iran. I mean, really, Iran ain't shit, but China playing in the background, that's what is really going to make things weird. But like, with Russia and Putin and all this, I don't know, but maybe President Putin already calculated that the world was going to isolate him. If he didn't, man, he made a huge mistake. I just don't. I honestly, I think I don't see this. I don't see that with what has happened. Like, this was honestly, it was an unprovoked attack. Like, this is the first time in 80 years that an established nation, a superpower, or a larger nation, has attacked a country with no justifiable means. They didn't have not means, but they weren't justified in attacking them. I don't see how Putin could actually step back from this now and try to go back to the world stage as, running a normal democracy. I don't think there's no turning back. There's hands of time.
Is there a pathway to seeing Putin being removed from leadership?
Yeah, I believe that one day they'll execute him. I'm not joking when I say that. I don't see no pathway of walking back to having things being normal again for him and for Russia. When I was talking a minute ago about hopefully Putin understood that he's going to be isolated from the world. But if he didn't, obviously he would have made a mistake. But I think, put it this way. The United States has been wanting to fight Russia for freaking decades. And I think this is our opportunity. I think there'll be a long-ass proxy war that will last years. This is going to be a multi-year event, I believe. And I believe that all of Europe is going to go after Putin, go after Russia, obviously the United States. And this is really our reason to throw down with Putin. At the end of all this, I don't think Russia is going to be the same Russia as what it was. And I believe that they'll probably, if Putin isn't killed in an airstrike one day, they'll probably hang him in Moscow somewhere.
Public hanging on display.
Yeah, if he's captured
by the new guard,
by the new regime.
Interesting.
But, this could be years, decades. Who knows? But I'm talking about all this because this is all stuff that we're gonna have to deal with when we're trading now, going into the future. And when I say stuff, what exactly? Who knows? But the answer is everything. You're gonna have curveballs thrown all the time at you now, especially if this turns into a world war. And man, this is such a touchy issue right here that, man, if any party in this miscalculates something and it makes a move that's just a little too much to up the ante, it could set off a chain of events that could be bad for everybody. So let's kind of let's see. I know I had to take that time up to.
You're about 9 minutes into the market.
All right, I had to take that time up to kind of talk about that really quickly.
Yeah.
Let's see. As for trades, I actually just sent Johnny and Todd. Obviously got the text and he knew. Basically, we're going to cancel all of our bullish trades and hold off on them. We got to see what's going on, but overall, the market is going to be extremely bearish, and it's going to be hard. Now, smaller caps are usually not influenced by this shit. You're usually influenced by this if your stock price is multi-dollars or significantly higher. So with small caps, I'm not worried about it, but large caps, especially trading options, watch out, guys.
Be careful.
Yeah, you guys are going to see volatility like you've probably never experienced before. It might be worse than the pandemic. Let me share my chart. Let's look at the VIX. That'll be a good one.
So one of my concerns is that because this is not part of Jerome Powell's plan is this war, and he had his own little plan in March. I'm wondering, are they going to make a push here?
That's a good question.
I think it's a real question.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And so I do want to say, guys, because everybody has to identify themselves politically for whatever reason in the world now. I'm just going to say this so I can, touch base with the Trump supporters. Guys, listen, I know you guys want to blame this on Biden. on President Biden. But that's not how geopolitics work at all. I get it. You guys see President Biden as an enemy. You want to say his failures, yada, 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 yada. Believe me? Well, you won't believe me. I guarantee you guys won't believe me. But this shit would have happened on Trump's watch as well if he was still president. That's geopolitics for you guys. Like, this has nothing to do with President Biden. This is geopolitics. And the timing was right. So, I mean, you can disagree with me all you want. I mean, at the end of the day, while your opinion is that you believe that Biden was the issue here, I mean, I am at the same time saying that my opinion is Biden wasn't an issue. So
you're telling me that Trump wasn't going to fly over there and hop on a horseback with Putin and go for a ride down the country trail and be like, "Hey, Vladimir, buddy, friend of mine."
Yeah, no,
shirtless.
Both of them shirtless.
Yeah.
yeah, guys. So, I mean, guys, like, and I hate to even talk politics because people just get so caught up in it, but I just have to. Like, everybody's getting so political again. You remember how when Trump was in office and the liberals were anti-Trump, Trump's blamed for everything, and everybody was, all the Trump supporters were saying, calling them on their shit and whatnot, saying that this is screwed up. Come on, guys. We all bash them. Let's take the higher road and not be like them. Let's think logically and rationally here. And as a nation, we have to move on from siding with a political party. It doesn't come down to just one person. This is a magnitude of governments. When these issues happen, it's just a magnitude of just government issues. And this is just the result of it. So here we are looking at the VIX. The VIX measures the volatility of the options market. So when the VIX is pushing up, the market does not like volatility at all. And it usually pulls the market down. So we can see right here, this is when the pandemic happened, okay? Now let me see if I can back up a lot. Actually, let me put it, okay, right here. This is the 2008 financial crash, the Great Recession. So we can see how if we put our little crosshairs right here, we went up to roughly, I think it was 96.40 on the VIX. So currently we're at 36.78. Now at the peak of the pandemic right here, we were hitting right around, just saw 70 something. Hold on. I'm gonna have to zoom in closer. Get that long tail wick right there. All right. So we actually hit a high of 85.47. Now, are we going to test those highs again? To be honest with you, no one really knows. Do we have the potential to test them and break them? Absolutely. Now, how this influences your trades is, I mean, yeah, we can just look at this and be like, oh, well, I'll just go short. I'll buy puts. It's not that simple. And the reason why it's not that simple is because, yes, while the volatility starts to push up, and Todd, track my time for me, okay? While the volatility starts to push up here in the market does go down, but it also screws up those premiums for the contracts on both sides. The implied volatility will go screaming. Those contracts will be super expensive, and the spreads on everything are just going to get horrible. So really the only way to trade through this is, and this ain't financial advice because I can't tell y'all what to do, but if I was not a full-time trader, I would not be trading options.
You're under 3 minutes.
Okay, appreciate it. I would not be trading options because if you can't sit on top of this and honestly execute flawless ass option trades, you're going to screw yourself up so bad. you can't go heavy because those spreads and those premiums, one, the premiums will be so expensive, but two, the spreads, as soon as you start to enter those contracts, you're going to experience deep red immediately due to the spreads. So you can't go all in. You can't go heavy in the beginning. Like, you really have to slow your pace on scaling in. And then just be right. That's the third factor right here. And that third factor is I hate to say it. I know that sounds like a freaking no-brainer, but like,
that's a really important third factor. You have to be right.
No, I know, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but like, sometimes you have to have luck. I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes you just have to have luck, especially with options. That's just the way it is. So, yeah. So we see the VIX pushing up right here. I mean, it's probably going to keep screaming up. I mean, that's just a significant gap up right there. And man, now like when we end up breaking above 45 right here, $45 on the VIX, shit, man, the market's really going to get shitty for everybody. So with that being said, guys, sorry we didn't have a chance to actually look at any tickers, but we just had to get out all the macro events. I had to talk my own opinions and whatnot, but I don't know. Hopefully,
if James is in here tomorrow. He'll be on a bus to Poland.
Can't do it, man. Maggie. I was really thinking about it. I had the urge last night and reached out to my buddy, and then Maggie said to me something that, I mean, hit me right in the feelings. If I didn't have Ilana, and within a month or less, with 30 days or less, I'd been boots on the ground. But Maggie said to me, she said, if you go, who's going to dance with Ilana every night? And that was it.
That's a game changer.
Yep.
It had nothing to do with Johnny and I. It was all about Ilana.
Yep, exactly.
All right, we're 20 seconds from the start of the market.
All right, guys. So we appreciate y'all tuning in today. Trade safe, trade smart, and just be careful, guys. The market is going to get screwy. So we appreciate you tuning in today. We will catch you in the next one. Thank you.